Welcome to the webinar. Today, we're going to be talking about AI enablement for go-to-market teams. So specifically talking about using AI to automate some common go-to-market workflows. I'm sure you'll find it all very interesting. We have a lot to step through here for you. So we're going to make this a tight webinar. We're going to go through quite a few use cases and give you some actual demonstrations of how to set this up. I'm going to be joined by my colleague Mohammed in a minute. But just to establish the topic we're talking about here today, it's really all about how AI is solving these manual bottlenecks for these GTM workflows. So what I mean by that is the problem here is that GTM teams are wasting up to 70% of their time on manual processes. I'm sure any of you who are actually doing these processes understand why and how all of this manual work ends up taking so much time. And the net effect for example, a sales team is that reps might spend only 30% of their time actually selling. Their core expertise is to sell, and they're maybe only getting to spend 30% leveraging that core expertise because they're having to deal with manual workflows that are moving information from one place to another, compiling information in some way that's otherwise not their specialty. And the net cost of this is huge strain on time, huge strain on cost, and an overall just lack of efficiency. And the solution that has now been proven by companies that have started to adopt AI, the companies that we're working with, the customers that we have actually, things like massive increases in ROI from marketing automation, huge time savings on CRM tasks, 80% in a lot of cases, dramatically more closed deals, higher accuracy. So we're talking about, humans are high accuracy standard, but we're talking about even higher accuracy with some of these efficiently set up AI systems that we're going to demonstrate for you here today. Like I mentioned, a lot more closed deals. These are all, I provide citations in the slide deck, which we'll share after the talk today. But these are all real figures that the industry we're seeing in the industries generally for these go-to-market workflows. And automation here, some of the biggest impacts that we're seeing is things like RFP responses that took weeks are now taking just hours. Huge ROI now. The things like contract reviews are going from, minutes to seconds. Dramatic orders of magnitude difference. Quote generation, again, another order of magnitude difference. And each of these things really adds up. We're talking about one data point for each of these, but multiply that by as much as your team can handle, and you have a dramatic difference. So in short, the key idea for this webinar today is that the intelligent use of AI agents, AI automation here is going to radically improve your entire GTM process. So what we're going to do today is we're going to step you through Kolena agents, how they help you automate some of your most time-intensive workflows for GTM. We're going to talk about sales, marketing, and revenue ops. And so without further ado, I'm going to hand it over to my colleague, Mohammed. Mohammed, thanks for joining us.
Awesome. Thanks, Skip, and great to meet everybody. Thank you all for giving us 45 minutes of your time today. We will hope to make this entertaining for you guys and informative. All right, so I'm going to share my screen when we get started. Just quickly to introduce myself, I'm Mohammed, the CEO and co-founder of Kolena. Excited to share with you especially how AI can transform and supercharge the go-to-market teams, sales and marketing, customer success teams. We're using, what I'm going to show you here is something that we're using internally to run our company at Kolena. So we've seen the same results that Skip shared here internally. So I would love to share that with you all. I'm excited about it. All right. So you can see my screen here. Feel free to drop questions in the chat. We'll be able to answer that either during the presentation or at the end. All right, real quick here, no more slides, just one more, and then this one, and we'll jump into the actual demos, how this is done. But we have prepared 3 cases for you guys, or case studies. We tried to put some variations of those. But we'll go through sales intelligence. How can AI extract detailed insights from your call recordings, whether it's audio or transcripts, regarding deal progression, customer interest, what are the objections, what the next steps should look like. We'll go through rep performance, like sales rep performance insights and coaching insights, executive sales ops dashboard, and deep analysis to our sales process and to be able to improve on that. We'll also go through, for our marketing folks here, the marketing intelligence, extracting win-loss insights, refining our messaging, identifying themes and the product language, and creating collateral newsletters and content strategy. Lastly, we'll try to go quickly through RevOps use cases, analyzing contracts, creating financial projections, and modeling. We'll spend longer time on the sales intelligence because we're setting the stage for everything else, and then we touch upon the rest. All right, let's get started. So first, this is your homepage here. When you start with Kolena, you have nothing is created. And then first, you're going to go ahead and create an agent. We will be creating separate agents for each of these tasks. So here, we're going to create an agent. When you create an agent, it's a pretty straightforward process. You can choose from tens of highly curated, pre-built agents or templates that we have ready for you. These are curated and created by experts in each domain to provide you a jump start with insights that you would want to extract from the data that you have, or you can create your custom ones. So as you can see here, some of the templates that we're showing now, we'll try to touch upon all of them on this call. RevOps dashboard, managing your contracts, whether it's vendor or customer contracts, key terms, expiration dates, and others. For sales teams, whether you're following the BAND framework, SPIN framework, MEDIC framework, we're going to go through that, or you have your own framework that you can customize with this, and customer support calls. So we're going to get started with the MEDIC framework, one of the most popular ones. So I will click on that. And quickly, you see here your agent has been created. So you understand the layout here, what we're looking at. The agent here has three main components. One is the input. We will start adding connections to our input, and I'll show that to you to automate the whole process. The actual agent with a list of insights or tasks and extractions, we'll dive deeper into that, and the output, where this output you want to be. So to get started, I'm going to just go ahead and upload one transcript. You can upload a transcript, you can upload send an email with it, you can upload the audio call or video call. All of this comes as well, can be integrated with your sales tools. But just to get started, we have one here that's running, and you start seeing all these extractions are going. So let's take a look at that. So here we see that we have some transcript here. Like I said, you can share a transcript or audio, or be transcribed or video, and then you start seeing all these extractions are running that come out of the box. All of them are customizable, tunable, and you can add your own. So we're going to go through that right now. Real quick here, you see, just so you understand what the list of extractions that we have prepared for you. We have here a set of extractions or insights that are related to deal progression. And then down here, a set of extractions related to sales rep coaching, and then customer information and next steps, all the way to sending a follow-up email to the customer automatically. So let's take a look at this. First, we have some extractions like the company name, right? That's a straightforward one. And then you have one of the things that we have prepared is you want to triage or classify the customer interest level. So to uncollapse this, to read here, so every extraction, and this is one of the most exciting things here, every extraction comes with detailed reasoning, why the AI decided to make that decision, which is very useful, especially when you're analyzing customer insights or others. So here, the AI classified the customer as very interested, which in our classifications that would be set here, one of the highest, it's the highest one, is moderately interested, somewhat interested, low, and so on. So here, when you see, okay, the customer is very interested, let's see why the AI thinks this way. So the AI is looking at 5 areas here. First, okay, there's an extended engagement. The customer is saying, I can't believe I've been on this call very much. I am interested. You start seeing the customer planning to involve senior stakeholders, like I'd like to get my boss involved in this, and so on. So you start seeing details here on why the AI believes that this is very interested, which you can tune. I will show this to you to fit your exact definition of what very interested should look like for you. All right. We have some other information. Who's the seller? Who's what's the call type? Discovery, follow-up, demo, or others. But also here, you want to see, okay, did the customer agree to schedule a follow-up them? The AI says true. And let's see here that why the AI thinks so this is a true thing. So you see here that the AI thinks, okay, the customer did not implicitly agree to a follow-up meeting, but they showed some details on why they are interested. So that could be good enough for some teams. Some other teams might believe, no, we would love to have this only true when the customer, because we have our sales process, our seller has to schedule the follow-up meeting on the call. So the way you would do that is you would suggest an improvement here to the prompt. So none of your data is given to the AI is not learning on any of your data. No models are being tuned on your data. The only thing we do is we tune your instructions, which is the prompt. So you might come here and say, you know what, I want to suggest an improvement, and I want to say, consider this to be true only if the demo call is scheduled on the call, right? So that's how you would just give feedback. Now, here is how I want to define this, what this should be true or not. So the AI will rewrite your prompt to take this suggestion into consideration. So here you'll see here, okay, so the prompt has been rewritten, and then the AI added, look for concrete evidence that the demo has been scheduled, not just general interest about future demos. And I'll update that, and I'm expecting this to come as false. Now that you tune this now the agent has been tuned to all your calls outside of what the template that you started with. All right. So you start seeing, okay, the timeline urgency, what are the exact next steps here that you want to, that between the seller and the buyer and the buyer or the customer. There's also a set of sales rep coaching extractions that I'm really excited about. You can see here, executive summary, who is the call, what the pain points are, what are the main use cases, and so on, duration of the call. You can see here the medic analysis, all the medic fields here. So it goes into your Salesforce or your CRM that you're using without you having your sellers trying to write notes or fill out notes. You start seeing here, these are specific metrics that are and quantifiable metrics that can be used and will be used for the ROI conversations later. And who's the decision maker and so on. This is here based on the medic framework. We're analyzing as well our sellers' performance on the medic framework. So how good the seller did on each of these metrics. Did they ask all the questions here? Did they validate the set of information? Because later we will analyze our sales conversions with these performances so we can see how we can improve our process. It's a very powerful one. I'm going to go a little faster here, but just to show a little bit more objection analysis. Okay, here are the customer objections. Have they been effectively addressed by our sellers? And then here are the rebuttal notes. And then you start seeing, okay, yes, partial. Looks like our seller here did a good job. And then partial here, for example, like you're talking about, okay, translation accuracy. James claimed that 98% is accurate, but didn't provide specific examples or proof. That's a good lesson learned for us. We started creating collateral here to prove that, so we can improve our scores in effectively addressing customer objections. Obviously, I skipped this part, but everything you'll see reasoning down there for detailed analysis. Quote-worthy statements. We'll come through this. It's a really exciting one, but when we do more of a bigger picture analysis, rep coaching insights, what are the assessment areas, have they been effective or not, and some details. And then obviously non-conversation analysis, how long the rep has talked, how long the customer has talked, and so on, interruption, and so on. All right, and then you start seeing here customer information. Okay, are there blockers for the customer to evaluate within the next 60 days? You start seeing, yes, true. What are the blockers here? You see the reasoning. Okay, they are in the middle of development. They are going through an acquisition. And it's busy time. So you get to understand really what the possible blockers would look like for your sales or for this opportunity, and addressing those proactively. Does this champion have the purchase authority? We know that here from the other notes, it says no, because they need to get the boss involved, they need to wrap up the chain. So these are specific quotes by the customer, some details here. All right, so this takes us all the way to the follow-up email that goes out automatically from our seller to the customer. So once the sales rep has the sales call, they don't have to do all the paperwork, all the analysis. Everything goes to the right place. Some goes to Salesforce. Email follow-up has been written and ready for you to review or send automatically. Right. So this comes out of the box, and then you can here we showed you how you can tune by just adding one of the by just adding here a suggestion or edit the prompt directly. You can obviously here add extractions the way you want to fit your process. Something like again, we can do something summarize next steps. We just did that before, but here. And then as you'll see here, we just say summarize next steps, and the AI will rewrite your prompt something that is more detailed. All right. So now that we see here, it has added all the details here. All right. So now that we have this done, I'm going to go back to my agent that has only one call. Now, the next step here is, let's do this right now. It's an exciting one. So let's do, I want to show you this part here. So you can set up your input and output here to automate the entire workflow. So you don't, obviously, none of these extractions you have to write again. It's something that are ready for you, and they run through all your calls. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to add a source. I'm going to make the source email just for an exciting exercise here we can go all through. It creates a unique email for this specific agent that you can send emails to. So I'm just going to make it simpler. I'll just call it medic. And I'll just leave it as is. You can have that. So any email that goes to medic@agents.kolena.com will be automatically ingested and analyzed here. And then you can add a destination, which could be obviously your Salesforce or other tools. But here I'm going to set up just an exciting bonus here for everybody on this call. An email output that will go to any of you guys. If you send an email to this, you will get detailed analysis. I will show this to you right now, but I'm going to have the receipt extracted from the information. And then I will have, I want to attach the report in a document format. And here, I will just do custom subject. I'll just have it just Kolena medic analysis. Let's give it any subject here. And then the body here is something that we have here. So I want to show you something really cool. And I will put in for the reason. So now that we set this up, you see here all the extractions that we have. These together, you can sort them the way you want. And these together create that detailed report. This detailed report comes to you in the format that you want, document, PDF, or Excel, others, that has all the deep analysis with the reasoning of every extraction or all the details that you have set up already for this agent. All right, so what I'm going to do here, I'm going to continue the demo, but for now, let's do this exercise. Now that we set up these agents, you can quickly here, let me just copy this email. You can quickly here send an email to medic@agents.com. And then I'll just attach the transcript, or you can attach the audio directly or video directly. Everything is secure. Nobody's going to look at your data. But here, I'm just going to do this here, demo test. And then I will ask one question here. Just you can include any questions in the email body. You will get a response with the detailed analysis attached and responses to your questions here. So a quick thing here, I will just put one question here. What's the probability of customer buying our product? Something like this. You'll get analysis on that. I'll send it, and you can, I'm just doing this for them, where you can list a set of questions as many as you want. You'll get an email response with an answer that looks exactly like this. So here, if you send what's the probability of customer buying our product, you'll get a detailed response with this report attached and a response to your emails like, hey, Mohammed, because I sent that, based on this, there's 70% probability of closing, and then some details here. All right, I'm not going to spoil it here. Just feel free to send this. We're going to keep this open until end of day Friday. Send us any message secure. It will come here to the agent, processed, and then you'll get an email back free of charge. All right, so now that this part is out of the way, let's take a look at the agent here after you have uploaded a bunch of calls. So we were looking at an agent that I just created with one call, but after you add a bunch of calls, you have a mix here, which this is a transcript, this is an audio call that Kolena transcribes for you. It will be a video that Kolena transcribes as well. And then you'll have a well-structured table here with all the information about all your opportunities, sales opportunities. And now comes the next and last step of our sales agent piece, which is the deep analysis with the executive sales ops board. So on top of all your calls that you have here, you can start creating dashboards. Now, I have created two here to demo for you guys, but to create a dashboard here is just as straightforward as create a new dashboard. I'll just call it webinar demo. And then you can go ahead here and then start prompting the AI to give you information. These are live information that will be ready for you right now for your analysis. So you can get a text, a table, or others. So let me go just as a quick example here. Let's say I want a pie chart, and I want to say plot the distribution of customer interest level. So that's just like a quick one here. It will take less than a minute, and it will come out. And then I will zoom out. I will show you a ready-made dashboard. But here you get a dashboard that you can customize with the information that you just prompted. We saw here a pie chart, but you can create tables. You can create detailed reports. Think, sales analysis reports or marketing analysis, newsletters, everything that is, every time you add a new call, it comes automatically here and then analyzed, and you will get detailed. And this here, that dashboard will be refreshed with all the information that you have set up. All right. I just want to provide closure on this and show you this is done, and then we're going to go ahead and look at a ready-made dashboard. Right. I'll come back in a second for this, just for everybody's time. So I have here two dashboards which will cover these two parts here, the sales ops and the marketing one. So let's start with the sales ops one. So for the sales ops, you'll see here, I have an end of week report. This end of week refreshes every end of week Friday with the latest information. So I have the customer level interest. Here's like most of our customers are interested, and then a bunch here are moderately interested, and then one is and so on. We have here, we're plotting our reps performance in converting from, through the deal steps that we have, or milestones that we have. Jenny obviously seems like they're doing a great job, and then Joe and then Mark. And then we have here a detailed list of the frequent use cases that customers keep bringing up, which highly defines our product development, our marketing and sales messaging. So these here, like you mentioned, see, these are different plots and a table, but I have here, these are the ones that I love the most, the detailed analysis here. So I have a deep analysis on all the discovery and demo calls that we had for this week, for this is the period. And then you start seeing, okay, we had this much calls. Let me just expand it so you can see it. And then you can see here, the prompt is pretty straightforward. You see what's the report title? Here it is. And then report period, add the report period. And then you can add exactly the details, how you want the report to look like. It's like you're writing requirements to somebody. And then here you will have the details. Okay, here are the discovery calls by seller, and here are the discovery to demos. See, Jenny is 100%, and so on. Overall, the team is converting 50%. And then here, a detailed table as instructed, a table with a list of companies in my prompt. So here, these are the table list of companies and the date of the call, and whether they schedule the follow-up call or not, and then what are the next steps. And that helps me get a snapshot of the week and address any issues. The last piece here I want to show is the metric analysis. One of the cool extractions that we have, or that we're using often. Same thing here, you see the prompt is pretty straightforward, just listing exactly how the report you want it to look like and some formatting guidelines. But you see here, okay, these are the metric scores for each seller and here for the team in general. And then this is the most powerful one. You start seeing analysis and correlations between conversion rates and this performance. So it's here, one of the main insights we see is that it's showing strongest performance in identifying the pain and decision criteria here, which is the pain and decision criteria in medic. But also it says that areas need improvement on these. And then deals that have high medic scores are 70%, show more conversion rates, and PUC interest here is high for them, and so on. And then some recommendations. So here you can start having deeper analysis on how to improve the team's performance we're looking at this at every week. I also have it every month and so on. Cool. So this is just a snapshot of what can be done to supercharge your sales teams. Let's take a look at the marketing insights. Obviously, marketing insights come from different places. For this demo here, since we have a few minutes, I'm just going to go through the marketing insights that are happening on the sales calls. So imagine you have all the sales calls, all the customer conversations for your marketing team to extract insights and create their collateral. So you see here that this is the distribution of the industries for customer industries. So you can see that, okay, most of them are real estate and financial services. So you start focusing on that. Quote analysis, like here are specific, the AI groups similar quotes and puts the frequency and gives you the customers. I like to use this as a newsletter for myself. So just come here and you go ahead and read that in the week and get an idea. You start seeing here for highly interested customers or customers who have been converting. You see, okay, here are the roles of people that we talk to. So you start addressing those as a marketing team and reaching out to them and creating your content. A list of highest frequency use cases. And the AI is suggesting a marketing copy paragraph, whether it's in your email or website based on your account. And as well here, you see like blog post suggestions. Like here you have one of the main use cases for customers that you have successfully closed is quality assurance documentation. So you start saying, okay, let's create a blog post, and this is SEO-oriented blog post, automate QA documentations, and so on. So here you can, I'm just showing you here a snapshot of what can be done, but basically think of what would you do if you have ChatGPT that has access to your entire data in a fully automated fashion, or entire customer conversations. You can really extract really powerful insights and have the AI create patterns for you. I wish I can expand on those more. Maybe I will do that in the questions that you're asking, but I'm just looking at the time, trying to be respectful to everybody's time here. Last piece here I want to show is the RevOps part. The RevOps, the same thing here when you go ahead, this one, and then instead of having to create the RevOps dashboard, this one is a different setup. It's sitting on all the contracts that you have with, let's say, for example, this example is with customers, which you can, the way I set up this agent is it's looking at my box drive here, and then extracts all the information, and then puts the output where I defined it. So for this, I'm just going to do some, here's a mock contract. And for you all to see what we're looking at, this is the contract here that we're uploading. It's basically, it's like whatever, 10 pages contract. You can have any kind of details, and doesn't have to have the same layout, because contracts come from different vendors or different customers with different looks. It doesn't have to be, and see, it came right away here, and it's being extracted, and all the information is being extracted from it. This is the contract that I just uploaded, and then all the information here that are tied to your process. But on top of that, now that you have all your customer contracts in one place, you can run really powerful analysis here. Like our board deck is happening now on Kolena. But you start seeing something like, okay, here's your cash balance, and here's your burn, and what your monthly recurrent revenue look like, what's the total revenue, how much revenue we got this quarter, net new in this quarter, and so on. And this is revenue in trial or proof of concept that we're expecting to convert. You show here quarterly progression. You can just really be creative here and presenting the information that the way that you want to do based on the stakeholders who are consuming these reports. One of the things that we do here is like, okay, so here are the list of customers for product A, list of customers for product B, and all the information that you want for those. Who are the customers in trial phase, and the status here for these customers, risk, healthy, opted out of the contract, and so on. And then you can run really powerful financial analysis here, or financial modeling. Like you can prompt the AI to run based on your numbers that are being updated. You can just refresh that. This was updated 3 hours ago. There's a new contract that comes in, you refresh that, all these dashboards come in, all these widgets come updated. But you go ahead and say, okay, this is your runway. It's 18 months runway based on these assumptions. And then here is the cash flow table from this month all the way down to the end of your runway. break-even analysis, you can just prompt AI with the model assumptions like you would have. What if our churn rate is this much? What if our growth is this much? And then it will give you detailed analysis here of, okay, here's the break-even is possible. Balance, cash balance at break-even will be this much. And then detailed here that I can expand, a detailed cash flow table all the way until break-even. Awesome. So I'm going to pass it on to Skip now, answer your questions, but excited to see here what else can be done with the AI.
Thank you very much, Mohammed. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen again very quickly. Just want to show a couple of things here before we move on to the Q&A. By the way, if you have questions, please drop it in the Q&A here in Zoom. Great. Okay. So just one thing I wanted to add here to the demos that Mohammed showed is that these all are incredible tools. And one thing that might not have been clear is that these integrate with existing go-to-market tools. So if you're already using Zoom or HubSpot or Salesforce or any of the variety of tools for these go-to-market tasks, these agents can plug in directly with those systems so that anytime you have a call, it gets automatically processed, similar to how what Mohammed showed for what we're doing for our own processes. We have these transcripts automatically transcribed from the audio, and we are able to have these agents process them automatically and drop them back into the tools that we have. So if you're worried about, how do we integrate this with our existing systems? How do we make use of this? It's actually very straightforward. The integration process is very simple. You really just plug in where you want the data to come from and where you want the data to go. And then you've got automation that's kind of seamlessly dropped in to your existing flows. So that side of things is very easy as well. I wanted to highlight that. As a reminder, if you wanted to try out this sales agent that Mohammed gave a demo of, email this email address here, medic@agents.kolena.com. That'll go directly to the agent because we have it set up so that you can send an email to the agents. You can either send a text transcript or just the raw audio file, and we'll transcribe it for you, so you don't have to worry about processing it if you want to just drop it in. And the agent will reply with the report that Mohammed showed off for you today. So you'll get insights about your call. There's also a lot more about our go-to-market solutions if you visit this kolena.com/GTM, or if you scan that QR code right there, that'll also take you to that same page. And there's a lot more information about what we can do what these agents can do to help you automate these processes. A lot more information about the use cases. Okay, I'll go ahead and leave that up. Right now, we don't see any immediate questions. So if you still have questions, please drop that into the chat or the Q&A. I guess, Mohammed, one question for you is, how hard was it for you to set this up? We went through some of these pretty quickly, and I just want to make sure that people who are watching have a sense for, how much time and effort does it take to get one of these agents configured?
Yeah, that's a very good question, Skip. We set things up on the call here live from scratch. So the biggest challenge is really having the expertise or knowledge of, okay, I want to extract. Here's what can be done. Here are the insights that I want to have, and that's why we collaborated with experts in every whether it's domain or teams to curate these templates for us. So with that, getting started is something that we target is within the first hour. However, took here on this call within. So we're expecting getting started is in the first hour, where you start from a template based on the framework, based on the details that you choose for your template, and then you start iterating over it. Okay, I would love to add this more extraction. I would love to add this more insight. So I expect what we usually do here is something that is as quick as within the kickoff call or something. Everybody gets up and running, and the technical knowledge that's needed is just basically somebody who knows how to write on a Google Doc or a Word doc, because all the skills that is required for this is something that you should have seen on the call so far. Some ChatGPT kind of experience will be helpful too, so you can know what AI can do.
Right, right. And when you are onboarding with new customers, getting people familiar with the platform, what kinds of experiences are you hearing? So I'm trying to get at the contrast between the manual way that customers have been doing things up to the point before they get to Kolena agents, and then where they get after, a couple hours getting things set up on the platform. What does that look like?
Yeah, usually customers come thinking or trying to start from a template that they have. Maybe they have Salesforce as their CRM or HubSpot. So they want to fill. The first thing is you think about automation, and then think about extra insights. So we try to cross that bridge first with automation. You come with your template, upload it to the platform. It will just create the extractions automatically, so you can get this done maybe that's an hour maybe total. And then after that is the true power comes after you have automated. Now you have the time to, I'm reviewing this sales opportunity or marketing research, and now I want to have a question here. You want to ask it more questions. So you start asking questions, and then now when you ask it every question or add an extraction like I did here, it's added to your template. So that's added to all previous calls and all future calls. So the beautiful part about this is it's not like a ChatGPT type of chat where you ask questions, and the true power you get from the AI is really dependent on the user's experience in the topic or in AI itself. But what we try to do with Kolena is we want to abstract this part where you get started right away, automate your template. That happens within a few minutes. And then you start iterating over it. You start asking more questions. And we provide something that they don't hear. We provide extractions suggestions. Hey, based on your goal, based on what you've been trying to extract before, I think these are 3 to 5 extractions that will be valuable for you. And then you can just click on it and then it comes out.
Yeah, you make a good point there, and there's something I wanted to reiterate is you come in with an idea of what you want to automate, but then as you iterate on it, you're building up a more comprehensive solution bit by bit by just one at a time, conveying the insight or the type of extraction information that you want, and the agent retains that and applies it forever after and retroactively as well, so that you, as somebody who's setting up this agent, are just going through this process once and iteratively, and you end up with a really robust, powerful system. So I wanted to hammer on that point because it's very powerful, and it's also different than I think a standard ChatGPT experience where you're kind of restarting a lot of the time and you have to reprovide context or reconfigure things in a way that makes it difficult to just drop it into an automation workflow. So I think that's a huge factor here.
Yeah, I actually want to take advantage that we have another few minutes. Maybe if you allow me, Skip, to share my screen, I want to show everybody the email. So in front of you all, I sent an email to the medic@agents.com with the attached transcript. I also asked the question, what's the probability of the customer closing? So here's what the email would look like. If you would send that email, you will see it. So we got this email probably like 20 minutes ago from medics@agents.kolena.com. And then you see here, based on the discussion, it says 70%. That's the same message I showed you here. And then here are the key positive indicators. Here are what the next steps look like. And then you will see an attached report, detailed report of all the insights. Okay, this customer is very interested and why it thinks very interested. We showed that on the call. Is there a follow-up meeting scheduled? It says no, and then here's why it's no. What's the urgency, timeline urgency, how it's assessed on this call, next steps, and all the details here of the medic analysis, how your reps have performed across during the call against the medic metrics. So you start getting all this attached report here. So in the email body, any question you ask, you'll get a response in the body of the email within a few minutes, and you'll get an attached report based on the template, which is something that obviously for the future can be customized based on your template. But it's an exciting one if you want to test it out. This is very secure. Data has zero data retention policy. is removed from the platform completely once the report is sent to you. So no one will see your information. We'll leave it open until end of day Friday, so feel free to experiment with it.
Yeah, and I put that email link in the chat here for everyone if you want to try that out. I'll also bring up that slide again. But while I'm doing that, Mohammed, I wanted to ask just a final question here and kind of, again, getting at how we're using this internally. And I guess maybe getting at the things, what are you noticing or what kinds of things have jumped out in terms of our internal usage of this as opposed to the way that we were doing things before we started using it?
Yeah, so that's the exciting part of having something set up for the team, and then you start seeing how the team takes it into different directions and evolving it. So this started as us, as like our head of sales and sales management. We're looking at how we can have a deeper look into our process. But really quickly, within a few weeks, our sales reps love it. They started adding extractions. They join the call, and then after the call, they come to call. And I was like, okay, wait, what's the details here? How did this customer do? And they start adding more extractions. And maybe 8 weeks now down the road, they have been operating on this in the last 2 months. Now we start seeing everything is automated from the sales rep joins the call, and then they leave the call. All the notes go to Salesforce, and some notes go to other tools that we manage here and report. And the email follow-up is ready. We have security questionnaires that are automatically filled up. So we're looking at, like you mentioned, we saw that 70% of our team's time is going towards this kind of paperwork and deal progression kind of analysis. That's all is gone. We're trying to see now. We're looking at what else we can automate, but everything that all the way through the email out to the customer is something that our sellers are now focused to be on more calls. We have 50% increase in calls just after a month in terms of bandwidth. We've seen 300x, so 3x, 300%. So 3x growth in closing deals.
Yeah, amazing. We did actually get a follow-up question here, and I wanted to ask you this because it's something that applies to us as well, so our internal processes. Their question is, what's the advantage of using Kolena, an agent like this, as opposed to, like a call, like Gong, for example, does some call transcription, a little bit of automatic analysis as well. So what do you see as the advantage of a platform like the one that we have here? Because we also use Gong internally.
Yeah. So was the question specific? I can see the question on my end here, Skip. Was this question specifically about Gong or some another tool?
Just about any existing Gong tool.
Yeah, because we love these tools. Like these tools, we use them internally. The biggest shortcomings that are coming from this is it's not built for that. They are built really for getting the calls, and they transcribe the calls at best. You can ask them some questions, but building a pipeline of every call comes, extracts the exact questions that fits my team specifically and me as a leader specifically, or the seller specifically. Here's the questions here I want. Here's the definition, like we saw here. Here's the definition of this extraction. It applies differently for my team or for me as the process evolves. So the full customizability and full automation is something that is really powerful, and that puts what we showed here way ahead of standard call recording tools like Zoom and Gong and others, and ChatGPT and other chat applications. Because again, all of this stuff is just relying it's automating your work, but it's not providing the insights.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I wanted to bring out, is that it's doing more than just some of the automatic tools. It's also customizable in a way that those tools are not. And importantly, this is a platform which enables you to handle the entire GTM stack. We're not just talking about sales calls here. We're also talking about within the same platform, you have an agent for every marketing task for all the RevOps workflows as well. So it's a much more robust solution. So thank you for answering that. I just wanted to make sure that we got that. So I'll put this up again as we wrap up here. If you want to get a report just like the one Mohammed demonstrated, email us here at medic@agents.kolena.com. That'll go directly to the agent, and we'll send you back the report that you get. Like Mohammed said, we'll leave that open until the end of the week. So feel free to try that as much as you like. If you want to chat with us, we also put a link in the chat here. So if you have a particular use case you're wondering about, or if you want to have a call with us to see whether your workflows would be something that would be appropriate to automate on the platform, we'd love to chat with you. We enjoy chatting about use cases and with new customers. And there's also a lot more about this if you go to kolena.com/GTM, talk about our go-to-market solutions there. All right. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Thank you, Mohammed, for the demos. We really appreciate you coming today, and we will see you next time.